The household cavalry has dual roles. 250 horses and men serve the Queen as her ceremonial bodyguard. At the same time, the other half of the regiment is ready to go to war. This time on the Queen's Cavalry, the armoured regiment goes to town.
It's not every day you see one of these driving down through your local village or through the town centre.
5 weeks into riding school, but will pride come before a fall for our learner riders?
Oh, I'm pretty confident I'll not fall off.
And Knightsbridge Barracks witness a trooper in trouble.
You're taking a dirty horse on parade. You've obviously not bothered your arse.
Knightsbridge Barracks are home to the Household Cavalry's 2 sister squadrons, the Lifeguards and the Blues and Royals. Every day follows the exact same ritual. It's 6 a.m. and the Blues and Royals are getting ready for their daily early morning exercise, known as watering order. Squadron leader Major Mark Goodwin Hudson is in command.
It's called watering order because in the past we used to ride out to all the different water troughs in London. Sadly, there aren't very many water troughs left.
This is all possible thanks to an ancient privilege granted to the Household Cavalry.
In the morning, we can get anywhere we want to in London as long as we're back by 8 o'clock. So you can go as far north, east, south or west.
Today, they're heading for the wide open spaces of Wormwood Scrubs. Mark's route leads the men through some of West London's most desirable areas.
Exercise drill!
And for Corporal Major Kieran Fortune, it's a return to very familiar territory.
I'm from West London anyway, so whenever I've been at the operational regiment and I come back here, it's always nice. I feel at home sort of going around the streets of West London, particularly going up to the Scrubs area because that's where I'm from. And you know, the old happy memories of childhood come back playing football on the Scrubs, and now I'm up there with the lads and the horses. It's good fun. A lot of these guys won't have been up to the Scrubs before, so it'll be a bit of a treat to get up there and give the horses a good cant around Wormwood Scrubs, and then get back for breakfast.
The 14-mile round trip is the ideal way to keep the horses fit for the demands of the ceremonial season.
I think they love it. It's good fresh air, it's fun for them, and it's got to be more interesting than sitting in a stall.
Traditionally, new troopers start their army careers in the Windsor Riding School. They are expected to master the art of horsemanship in only 16 weeks. It's week 5 for the latest batch of new recruits. They've learned to trot, they've learned to canter, and they've learned to fall off. Now they face their biggest challenge, jumping, where hitting the ground is par for the course. The ride has started a kitty. Each time someone falls off, in cavalry slang, being binned, the victim is forced to dig into their pocket.
Well, this is the bean bin tin, and how it works is when you fall off the first time, it's £5. Basically, it goes towards a charity of our cause, which is just a night out, get some beers together, celebrate all the bumps and bruises. The shopping.
They may be only 2 days into jumping, but already the coffers are swelling.
What's in there?
Forwards and up!
Hi, Miss Coach, give me a check. This is my washing one.
Trooper Richie Medcalf is one of the few recruits who rode before he joined up. He's confident he won't have to part with any cash at all.
It's all about seat, relaxing and breathing. You fall off and you tense up. If you tense up, you're going to fall off no matter what. And I'm so chilled out.
You are going to fall off, trust me.
I'm not going to fall off. You will?
Everybody, no matter you could be
put a little
Frank
bet on
Victoria, and you will get binned.
I'm not going to get binned.
You're going to get binned.
Tank, I'm not going to get binned.
But for some of the other riders, it's becoming a costly exercise. At the other end of the confidence scale is Graham Thompson.
Tom I owe some money because he's fallen up. He is our crash test dummy.
Sit up! Let go, you bloody right!
You just feel it, this energy underneath you just carrying your waist like sitting on a cannonball. You just got to abandon yourself to either go into hospital. It's quite a frightening experience. Even just a small jump like that is quite a hurdle to get over. It's a real test of courage, that.
Thompson! Tall! Shoulders back, hands sit up! Right, halt!
I've not got any money on me. I've not got any money on me. But I will pay it.
How much was it?
25, 30 pounds. Something like that.
Cocky Metcalf remains convinced he'll never have to pay up.
No, I'm pretty confident I'll not fall off.
Metcalf thinks he's going to make it through without falling off. I'll have him in the jumping lane.
In West London, the early morning joggers have company. It's the Cavalry. After a gallop round the scrubs, there's a welcome treat for both men and horses. Kieran Fortune's parents still live in West London and have turned up with coffee and croissants.
I will do mine.
It's become something of a tradition.
Was that all right? Thank you very much. It's fortunate, thank you. Another joke there. We should do this more often.
It's not the only family military tradition.
We're not surprised he's in the army because his grandfather was in the army and his uncle was in the Irish Guards stationed at Windsor and his great-grandfather was in the army.
There's no time for a second cup. The Blues and Royals must be back in Knightsbridge. After this, they've got a full day of ceremonial duty. In the Windsor Riding School, the 12 new recruits are in the jumping lane. But Lance Corporal of Horse Lee Golder's in a mean mood and looking for donations to the bin pot.
They've got to accept that when they get into that lane, the horse is going to go at Mach 10 and they're going to jump 3 fences. And the quicker they accept that, then the easier it's going to be. Where are you going? The lane's that way.
Everyone's paid into the binning bucket so far, with one notable exception. Metcalf. He's managed to remain firmly in the saddle, a fact he's been boasting about.
Well done!
No, he didn't fall off at all, and he started gloating about it, which was probably his biggest downfalling. And then he got into a conversation with one of the officers.
He said to me I was going to fall off, and I said no. And then he said, right, up your money then. So what to? He said about 60 quid, so I said, okay, fair enough, 60 quid.
Maybe it's the size of the new wager, nearly half his weekly pay packet, but suddenly Metcalf's confidence dips.
First time I did it, the first jump I went down, I did a very sneaky hang-on. Came out the saddle and I hung off his neck and stayed on, and at that point I knew I was coming on. I started shaking and everything because I wasn't confident at all.
I was shaking his head, he goes, I shouldn't have made the deal. And then next time he went over, he came off and everyone just erupted.
Did you hear about?
And I've just paid very dear for opening my goal.
To teach him a little humility, Lance Corporal of Horse Lee Golder sends Metcalf round again, without his horse.
60 quid is in the pot.
Special change, Metcalf.
In London, the changing of the Queen's Lifeguard is the Household Cavalry's most famous and repetitive role. It alternates daily between the two squadrons, the Blues and Royals and the Lifeguards. At exactly 10 a.m. every single day, the guard is inspected by the orderly officer. Today, it's the turn of Captain Rob Gibbs of the Blues and Royals.
Queen's Lifeguard is phoned up and ready for your inspection.
Thank you, Cockle Horse.
All right, sir. Thanks very much.
This, the Queen's official bodyguard, will be on duty in front of London's tourists. The eyes of the world will be upon them, so Rob's inspection must be thorough.
We need to be up to the required standard of sharpness, smartness and shininess, just to make sure that we maintain the standards of the British Army and what's expected of us. Yeah. Good black kit.
So far, today's guard is making a good impression.
Good boots. Good boots. They are nice boots, well done.
But for one trooper, Sam Bass, fresh from a week off, it's about to go horribly wrong.
Right, that headstall is absolutely disgusting. Bass, you know the form on this, you know what to do. Shouldn't have to pick you up on something so schoolboy. You're taking a dirty horse on parade. It's not good, is it? Okay, you're not impressing me so far. Tarnished helmet, your sweat on the inside of your boots, your sword needs to go to the armourer and is covered in polish. How much time did you spend doing your kit?
6 hours.
No, you didn't.
I did, sir.
You didn't. Well, you're probably on your mobile phone and smoking cigarettes for about 5 of that. All of these men here, so far, have put in a very good effort. You haven't. I'm just deliberating what punishment to give you. You've obviously not bothered your arse. I am not impressing you today, Bass. Okay, you are substandard by a long way.
Sam Bass has a long day ahead, but Old Hand Commando has seen it all before.
By the front, quick, march.
25 miles away in Windsor, the fighting half of the Household Cavalry is also going for a ride, in their iron horses. Richard Bentley's Scimitar armoured reconnaissance vehicle has the equivalent of 190 horses under the bonnet. Today, he's going for a road and cross-country test. The 8-ton Scimitar is a tricky drive on the roads. The driver has a very restricted view. Richard must be his eyes and ears.
His rear-view mirror and there's no rear-view mirror, so I'm keeping a check on behind. I can see pretty much directly to the left and the right. He's tunnel vision in the way, because obviously he's lower down and sat in front of me. Well, most road users do generally tend to slow down when they see a vehicle like this. It's not as every day you see one of these driving down through your local village or through the town centre.
But as they approach Farnham, they find themselves navigationally challenged. This doesn't look like the approach to the tank testing ground.
Go straight up, mate, straight up.
But straight up leads them straight down Farnham High Street.
What way we going? That's a bloody good question, that is, mate. Do you know what, that is a good question. I'll just hog both lanes, so... do you know what? I don't know.
Where are we, Richie?
We're in the middle of Farnham town centre. As you can see, all the shops, pedestrians, traffic lights, pubs.
Farnham Park's right. You've not got aircon in this?
No, this is the aircon, stick your head out.
We're having photos taken now.
Yeah.
Quick decision time.
Go right.
Turning right turns out to be wrong.
Easy. The old Diego, go on.
Richard may have survived Bosnia, but now he's snared in Farnham's deadly one-way system.
Sit hard left, mate.
A minute later, they're back where they started.
Straight up, mate, and at the lights we go left. Back for another go, look. Reshooting. Little nipple at waving. Oh, mate, good like that. Yeah, go left, mate. We'll go left. Left looks good, mate.
In Knightsbridge, Captain Rob Gibbs has finished his inspection of the Queen's Lifeguard.
today is a long guard, which means Her Majesty is in residence, and there's the officer, the court major and trumpeter going down, so there's an extra 3 men. Normally, when Her Majesty's away, it's a short guard, and that's only 12 men, so it's a few less. Today, they do the handover at Horse Guards Parade with the lifeguards. The lifeguards will come back here and do a dismount, and then the Blues and Royals...
Guard, gentlemen! Draw your swords!
There's been a sudden change at the palace.
Her Majesty's plans have obviously changed. When Her Majesty's plans change, it'll now change down to a short guard. So we'll have the court major not going on without the officer, and there won't be the trumpeter going on. I think there'll be a few delighted people not having to go on guard as well. So.
The baggage wagon is travelling down with the troops to Horse Guards, and Major Mark Goodwin Hudson has hitched a ride.
This morning we're on the guard van and we're following the Queen's Lifeguard, and the guard van was donated by Queen Victoria, so that all the baggage and the necessary bits of equipment that the guard needed could be taken down behind them on the way to Horse Guards.
The route leads them down Constitution Hill, past Buckingham Palace, where they salute the monarch.
Guard van, eyes! Right!
Then it's on down the Mall towards Whitehall and Horse Guards Parade. They have to reach Horse Guards at 11 a.m. precisely. Timing is everything. Fortunately, they have a very good clock to rely on.
And of course, when you're riding on a Cavalry black, holding your state sword in your right hand and you've got the reins in your left hand, you have no opportunity to look at your watch. The Big Ben is a key marker and your first real indication
of how long you've got to get to Horse Guards.
Horse Guards is the official entrance to Buckingham Palace. The Queen's Lifeguard have maintained their vigil here for over 250 years. Every day, hundreds of visitors come to see the changing of the guard. For most tourists, this is a unique experience in London's living history. But for the commander of the regiment, Colonel Hammond Massey, it's a daily event. His office overlooks the parade ground. From here, he keeps an eagle eye on his troops.
All right, well look Simon, I'm going to switch you across. To me, it symbolises the continuity of our system, our head of state. It does honour, if you like, to our head of state, the Queen. And I hope it is showing the rest of our countrymen the embodiment of excellence and, I hope, devotion to duty, attention to detail, of which we in the House of Cavalry are very proud.
The barracks, known as the Chits, were built in 1742. Ever since then, they've been home to the Sovereign's Lifeguard. For the next 24 hours, Horse Guards will be home to these men and horses of the Blues and Royals. The departing Lifeguards report on the events of the last shift.
It's been quiet, sir, apart from one incident I had with a certain young lady. Really? About 15 minutes after I got on guard, the guys had just taken over. The alarm was rung in the box, so I went out to see what was going on, and there was a woman harassing the sentry in the box and the civilians. I asked the sentry what she was doing. She was just swearing at him, calling him all kinds of names and the civilians' names, and she was going to poke their eyes out. Really? So I asked her to leave.
Did she obey you?
No, not really. She just pulled her tongue out at me.
Really?
She didn't seem all there, actually. So I got one of the local police officers to have a word, and they moved her on.
That's it for another hour.
Corporal of Horse Richard Bentley has escaped Farnham. He's made it to the tank testing ground. Because they can be called into action at short notice, the Household Cavalry have to check their vehicles are always ready for combat. Over the last 30 years, the scimitar has seen action in the Falklands, Bosnia, Kosovo and the Gulf.
They're quite good when you think about how old they are. I mean, you know, been going since the 60s. You can take these things anywhere, they're gleaming. I mean, they're fantastic.
In combat, 4 scimitars are grouped together in a self-sufficient troop.
All the kit we need to maintain the vehicle and the weapon systems, camouflage and concealment kit, everything, and all the aids we might use like thermal optics and stuff like that, our own personal weapons, our own personal kit, food, water, ammunition, it's all contained on that vehicle, so we can basically live off that vehicle in some cases, but it might have to be up to say 5 days.
It's imperative the small crew are able to work closely together.
A 3-man crew, driver's sitting there where Shane's been sitting this morning, this afternoon. Myself will be sitting on the left-hand side up here, and on the far right-hand side we'd have the gunner.
The scimitar is armed with a 30mm cannon that can take out similar armoured vehicles at ranges of nearly a mile. It also has a machine gun that can fire 750 rounds per minute. In the last Gulf War, one actually took on 2 Iraqi main battle tanks and a troop carrier, coming out the victor. In the army, comfort is not a priority. When the scimitar is fully loaded up, there's not much room for anything else.
Target! The rounds we'd actually we've got storage here for the main armament, the 30mm, and underneath here. If I pop that up, it slides forward. We can stow a total of 201 rounds main armament. We've got storage racks behind the gunner and the commander in the corners, and we've also got a rack, what we call a wine rack, at the back here. We put main armament rounds behind that netting in these slots here. It is cramped in here, as you see. I'm 6'2", and you know there's not a lot of room down here. I mean, when all the kit's in here and on board and the bins are all full, there's probably not an ounce of space that you can put anything. We literally get stuff, you know, in every little nook and cranny we can.
However, there's one item the British Army just can't do without.
This little grey box here is the mainstay of the vehicle. That's the BV, the boiling vessel. There's a tap here, and all we do is to make a quick brew, just press the old button, and the old water comes out. Get close as a crew, get to know each other, get on each other's nerves now and again. But, you know, we're all one big happy team at the end of the day, and that's when it's working well. You know, it does show, and it is good.
At Horse Guards, the ceremonial side of the household cavalry's duties is in full swing. Trooper Sam Bass, fresh from his grilling at the hands of Captain Gibbs, has an hour of mounted duty to contemplate the error of his ways.
When the sun's out, so your helmet starts to hurt towards the end of the hour, and you're starting to sweat a lot. But you know, you persevere through it, and then afterwards you come back in. You feel good after you've done it as well. People pay compliments to you and stuff, so it's good.
Bass is lucky. He could be on foot duty for 2 hours, at the mercy of the tourists desperate for a souvenir of England.
It's a lot harder, and as you see, you're on your feet for an hour, so you feel the effects a lot more. You can only say 2 things to them, which is stay out of the chits and stand clear of the guard. People actually grab hold of you a lot more as well, so you get quite a few people grabbing hold of bits you don't want them to.
Behind the scenes, life is far more tranquil. But 100 years ago, this was a much noisier place. Archaeologists recently found remains of a cockfighting pit in the building. Today, the troopers are more likely to be found in the cookhouse, or even snatching a rest between duties. But there's no let-up for Trooper Bass. Busy preparing for the second inspection of the day, he's got a moment to reflect on where it all went wrong.
I've just come back from leave. I had 3 weeks off. So I've had 3 weeks at home chilling out, you know, getting used to civilian life again. And then I had to come back here. And I was on Queen's the next day, so I cleaned my kit. And I think I just spent too much time on my boots. Because, you know, I just chucked them in my locker before I went on leave. So, as you know, I reckon because I'm bouncing them out now for about a month of this. So about 3rd, 4th guard, be back into the routine. Just easily forget what you taught.
Bass is on Queen's Guard duty for the next month, but his long-term plans are more uncertain.
No, I'm getting out after my 4 years. Of course, I joined the army because I had my girlfriend was pregnant. So we got engaged, and I decided that I should stay out of trouble. I should join the army. It's always something I wanted to do as a kid. And as soon as I got it, and then I've done like 2 years, and I'm so much wiser. I'm not the same person I was when I joined all that time ago. So it's alright now. As soon as I get out, I'll be able to find a nice job. I've got some qualifications now. Sort my life out and look after my kids.
Corporal of Horse Peter Ireland comes up to check on Bass. He's a seasoned soldier and is well drilled on the rigorous standards expected by Captain Rob Gibbs.
My shoes are probably better than your boots.
They are better.
They are better than your boots, so that's all out.
It's 3:45 and Rob arrives for the 4 o'clock inspection. He just has time for a special apple bobbing treat for his favourite charger, Sunningdale. For Bass, though, time is running out.
It's how quick you got to do it, though, Corporal. You know, it's like you can't do it as good as you do it if you're back at camp, can you?
Yeah, you can. Speed, isn't it? It's having a routine.
Yeah.
Rob Gibbs' 4 o'clock inspection is part of a long tradition. It dates back to an incident when no guards came out to salute Queen Victoria as she passed by. They were caught in their shirt sleeves, drinking beer and playing cards. As punishment, she ordered that for 100 years at 4 o'clock every day, the guard must be inspected. The tradition continues.
This is Woodward, sir.
Woodward?
Yeah.
Good lad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good opportunity to make sure that my naughty boys from the inspection this morning have rectified a few of their errors.
Sir, 4 o'clock. Inspection is right away.
Thank you, Corporal.
Thank you, sir.
For Sam Bass, it's the moment of truth. A second bad showing will land him on a charge.
Okay, let's not let yourself down here. Let's look smart. You're in the public eye. So forget the cartouche box, okay? Okay. Good improvement. Well done, Bass. It's good. Good improvement.
Satisfied, Rob Gibbs heads back to Knightsbridge. Bass may have got away with it today, but he has another month of these duties ahead of him.
I don't know. I felt it was a little unfair on his behalf, but he was doing his job at the end of the day. And the first man he saw, you learn from your mistakes, and I'll take it with me on the next guard.
Next time on the Queen's Cavalry, full armour, steel horses charge into battle.
All those enemies to the north are to be hunted down and destroyed.
And the new troopers put on their breastplates, preparing to guard the Queen for the very first time.
This is something that I've wanted to do for absolutely years, and to be part of doing it now, it's spectacular.